Hi, I'm Ishan.
I'm Ed.
This is the Underqualified podcast where we talk about business casually.
This week we covered Sperm Racing, a digital business card business worth $200 million. CSGO Skins, absolute bubble.
Going up 50x.
And Stablecoins.
Yeah, back. Second episode.
I signed my first autograph last week.
Who asked you for it?
Someone said, "Are you the guy from the Underqualified podcast?" And I said, "Yep." And then I signed the autograph.
As Lincoln, have you been recognized?
Not in person, no.
Oh.
Not IRL.
Yeah, I get all the time.
Wait, what does that mean, not in person? What other method is that?
All right, they recognize me online.
What do you guys think Lincoln looks like?
Yeah, maybe people watching this don't know
Yeah, they
what
don't
Lincoln
know.
looks like. Maybe one day we'll have Lincoln in between us.
They know what
Your
his Explore
imagination
page
is
looks
better
like.
than I could ever live up to. So
Okay.
Aw.
Oh wait, what? That was self-deprecating.
that was
self-deprecating.
self-burn.
Aw, Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Anyway, welcome back to our podcast. Last week was good. We talked about a bunch of things last week. I've got new topics this week. I actually wanted to start off with a topic. I'm not too sure if you heard about Sperm Racing. Have you heard of Sperm Racing?
I've been watching that.
Have you actually been watching that?
Yeah, it was a topic of discussion in our office as well.
Okay, so that's good. So I just spoke with the founders literally an hour ago, so that's why.
Okay, so it's like a real
mind.
thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing. So a bit of backstory. People think like, what the fuck, Sperm Racing? Bit of backstory. There's a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, and a 22-year-old. They were at some VC fund or some VC firm, and the VC was asking them, what's your biggest idea, right? VC is venture capital, people that invest in startup ideas. And they said their biggest idea was to build the UFC of cum. And apparently they talked about it and how scientifically you do it, because it is quite scientific to get your sperm to race other people's sperm. Like,
yeah.
You have to, look, I'm going to butcher their exact process, but you have to get a bunch of male participants. Then you have to like train them up beforehand so then they can like get the right amount of sperm or the cleaner sperm. And then you got to like dilute the sperm to kill all the dead sperm that doesn't race. And then you got to put that sperm in a molded, you have to create a molded racetrack microscopic enough for the sperm to race in. So it's quite a process that they figured out. And then once they have the sperm in the racetrack, they do some like computer vision image modeling to render a 3D racetrack so the spectators watching just see sperm racing do a racetrack. It doesn't obviously look like that in real life. Real life, if you were just to watch a microscopic race of cum or sperm, it'd be a lot more boring. But that's how they do it. They did one. They launched it. They raised $1.5 million. It
went very viral. Like I feel like there was a huge news like.
Yeah, they said they did 1 billion views across like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. All these celebrities are talking about it. All the big podcasts in the world we're talking about now.
The biggest podcast
in the world. So they did like 1 billion views. They're going to continue doing this. They're going to get sponsors and raise money. I think more money or whatever. Blah blah blah. This is such a good, like, unique, innovative idea. These kids are fucking cracked. They're very much like us, coded like us, our group, and like they're just young, cracked internet kids that are like building really interesting, unique businesses, and they know what they're doing, which is like very rare amongst the brain rot.
So I don't know how it works, like biologically, but like, how do you start the race at the same time?
Can
they keep them?
Question.
Can they like keep sperm in a pen alive?
Yeah, I think
and then they release them.
So it's on the day they will get people to basically they get the contestants to ejaculate.
Yeah.
On the day of the race, and then I think they contain it in that like racetrack thing
so how do you? So is it done in a way where, because it's not like because I watch it, it's not like horse racing where you're kind of betting on which one is going to win. It's more so which dude's fastest sperm is going to be the fastest. Is that it? So it's like you bust your sperm run the race and you get like a time of 3 seconds.
You can still bet on that though. Like people, I don't think. Oh, people were betting on the last one. But yeah, I mean, it had great like concept. I think they raised all the money and then spent it all on that first event. Like, it's expensive. You got to hire out like a fucking state venue and have all the staff and the presenter, and you got to like, for the contestants, I'm pretty sure they paid for all their like training weeks beforehand, like mental and physical training.
Did you watch the Drewski Could Have Been Love?
No, I know
series?
you sent me that. I should. I need to watch that.
Because it's a similar. I feel like there's like a huge shake-up happening in entertainment where like people aren't as snobby about what platform they're watching things on. So like,
Yeah.
you know, it used to be you would watch Australian Idol on like Channel 7 or whatever it was a certain time. That's like, you know, you wouldn't watch stuff outside of that. YouTube was seen as like lower level content because it was just short, crappy videos, blah, blah, blah. And then now over time, it's like people aren't as reliant on these huge networks, so that the sperm racing guys can just like raise $1 million and kind of make their own show and just out of nowhere. And then it's the same with Drewski. He's like, fuck it, I'm just going to make The Bachelor for YouTube. And he got more views than The Bachelor
bypass
gets.
the network, bypass all these like studio execs,
just
and middlemen
independent
and stuff like that. Yeah,
and
no,
like
it's really
sperm
cool.
racing would never get
This
the
would never
go-ahead,
happen,
you know?
20 years ago.
Yeah. And like all they
especially
needed
by
was
a
some money.
17-year-old.
It's like crazy that but it's like that's
Man, we live in the
it's
best
awesome.
time,
and
like,
it's just
ever.
it's like really like, or it's almost like democratized where they had the idea that people want to watch this stupid shit, and people wanted to watch it. And if it didn't work, it didn't work, and then sperm racing goes to die, and then something else pops up, and da 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 da.
Yeah, no, I like, congratulations to them. They spent $10,000 on marketing.
That's
and
it.
they got just $10,000 in marketing, and that was like 1 billion impressions or whatever. Like, probably like the most. They're so serious about making it and legitimizing it into a real sport. Like, they want sperm racing to be in the Olympics one day. And when they talk about it, I mean, remember, they're like 16, 17. One of them, the official role title is Chief Gooning Officer.
Yeah, I bet you fucking. I bet he's having a good goon. I bet he's having a good old goon.
Like,
16-year-old.
They are young, and they are they see the fun in it, obviously. But also, when they talk about it, it's like they're very passionate about. Like, they're not laughing when they're talking about, yeah, this is going to be the UFC of cum. Like, and they like, I predict that. I believe more in like the guys behind it, that they're going to like execute in the content and the clips and everything like that. I think
The actual concept, it doesn't matter what they're doing, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, they're gonna figure out and do it, and then I think a Dana White or something will buy it if they do enough
well. 'Cause
events.
it's like
and have
Power
enough...
Slap, right? Like Dana White.
Power Slap. Yeah.
So he's
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
like, oh, I did the UFC really fucking well, and I can basically spin up any concept I want, and people are gonna come, and like I'm gonna, you know, he's got his kind of PR list of, he's got Theo Von and Nelk Boys and all these people who will come to the event and promote it.
Yeah.
And
I think they'll do the same. They're gonna
it's the
get
same thing,
they're
you
gonna
just-
get creators and celebrities to do sperm racing. Now, sperm racing is taboo.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's going to be a few people that are going to go like, hell no.
It kind of feels unethical to watch because they die.
Yeah,
They all die.
Yeah. That's
You know what I mean?
I
It's
didn't
like,
think about that, to be honest.
yeah,
It's,
and they don't get to an egg or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they don't get that goal. They'll just die, and it's like, yeah,
you've never masturbated, right, Ned?
No,
you have a goon.
I have never killed a sperm before.
You're not a gooner.
Yeah, it's because I don't fucking look at it with a microscope, so I'm not looking at them dying. But when you're watching the race,
do you think the thing? So I'm confident in them and the idea, and I love like you said, these new concepts where you can create like a TV show or league or something, without having a network and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I agree on all that. The thing specifically with sperm racing, I'm not 100% convinced on yet. You as a spectator, would you want to keep watching these? Like, was it an
I know.
enjoyable...
Is it a novelty?
Is it a novelty? Like, sperm racing, no one's done this before, and then no one cares after a while? Or would you watch the second event, the third event, the fourth
So I think
event?
that's the they have to build in, like, there has to be lore and like story, and that's what like you know, NBA has,
Boxing.
and boxing and all this stuff. There's all this hype and all this stuff. So they would need to kind of potentially build in like funny goon characters into this whole thing. And there's like guys with really fast sperm, and you know, like certain fan bases and all this kind of stuff. They'd have to kind of build that in. I think it would have to be jokey.
Yeah.
I think that's the move to do. But it is that thing of like you will watch like in terms, if they're just wanting to get clips and views, it's like clips and views are things that are like humans doing amazing things, like, you know, Messi fucking doing some crazy goal, like whatever else, like Jordan, you know, all that stuff. And like, that's the shit that gets real views in sport. And it's like, how do you clip that? And it's like, it's just the sperms wriggling. That's all that happens.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess the story, it's less about the sperm and more about the person behind that
Sperm,
ejaculation.
yeah.
And they're so these kids are smart. They are selling kits that you can buy. They'll deliver like a sperm kit to you. You ejaculate in this thing, and then you scan you scan your sperm, and you'll basically be placed on a global leaderboard. It connects to an app. And you'll see there'll be a global leaderboard of how healthy is your sperm against, you know, the world.
Yeah.
And then they're going to, I think, fly out like the top 5-10 people that are the fastest. You know, it could be a kid from Indonesia, not kid, sorry. It could be an over 18 person from Indonesia, or like some
I
guy.
think
You know
like
what I mean? Like
that kind of stuff is their best chance at building this into like a fucking huge thing. And
actual like a league, like a real sport, a real league.
and then also it's very advertisable, like because it's like funny.
Yeah.
There will be heaps of like Pilot or Hims or like any of those like sexual men's wellness like kind of things would absolutely like pump some money into promoting this stuff and having a logo on there.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And there's also like, on a similar note, there's the Adam Faze guy out of New York who started this thing called Gymnasium.
Yeah.
And
he's done
I messaged
few
him a little
things,
bit.
no?
Yeah, so he's done
Like, he's done a dating show as well.
So he did, I think the first one was Bodega Run, where like you have 60 seconds to run into a bodega and grab three specific items, and they changed every time. And they just had like a POV camera filming the person. They just have to like fucking run and find like M&Ms and water and this and buy it. And if they can buy it all in 60 seconds, they get $100 or something. It's like that super simple concept. Then they did Boy Room, which was just this girl would go into a dude's room who's like at college or something, and he would just like kind of walk around his room explaining. It's like, she'd be like, why do you have a fucking toasty machine on the ground?
Yeah,
why
a bong?
Yeah, like what's that? And he's like, yeah, like I use a lot of tissues or like whatever it is, just like gross. And then now they've spun it up into a second season where Amazon sponsored them.
Oh wow.
So Amazon is now like gifting the boy whose room it is, like they're fixing it up a bit, so they'll get like $1,000-$2,000 budget to like build a new shelf if they were using like some shitty old box, whatever else. And then he's got a new one called Roommate Court, where roommates argue in a fake court in the house with like his kind of a Judge Judy thing.
Yeah,
but I think his whole thing is like he's been pushing this like.
So these are like TikTok-y,
making
Snapchat
TV shows for TikTok.
Yeah, like
that's
that,
like that's his whole thing, and it's like seems to be doing really, really well. Like, I think it's so cool when you make it on TikTok because like Drewski can put on a napkin and then he's a girl. Like you don't have to have any production value. So like this dude can just make these TV shows that would require all this shit and sets and all this whatever. And it's just like 3 people in a room and it's just like you film it and people like it.
Yeah. And I like these they can build some like IP that's worth a lot of money.
Totally.
Like, could it be Love?
Yeah, it could have been Love.
Could have been Love. Could be the next big Bachelor, like, or whatever. And
totally.
yeah, I think that's pretty interesting.
Studios are buying these YouTube shows these days as well. I mean, look at Mr. Beast.
What's the fucking
Hot
Wings?
Yeah.
Hot Ones. Hot Ones got
Jimmy,
bought out.
yeah.
I mean, they bought it back, but yeah.
I think they, from what I've like, that's like fucking, what was it, Smosh and like any of that like
Did
all
Smosh
those.
go downhill?
Well, they were killing it whenever ages ago.
Yeah,
and
like
then
2005,
BuzzFeed bought them, or a media conglomerate.
Oh, okay.
And then they just
Bought it
fucking
back?
murdered the whole Smosh concept. And then Anthony and the other dude Ian bought it back. And then I haven't seen much about it, but yeah, it's like
interesting.
It's
It's been a common theme in
if
YouTube.
it works. If
big
there's a studio
studios buy
involved.
these channels that are really successful and then fucking run them into the ground.
Yeah, like I
And
haven't
then
seen it be
The
done
original people
successfully.
buy them back for fuck all and start doing it again.
Fucking Barstool.
Donut Media.
But Barstool
Yeah,
Barstool
Donut
is
Guys.
a good example of it working.
Yes.
They bought the Call Her Daddy.
No, I mean Barstool being bought.
Barstool. Oh, by Penn.
Yeah,
Right?
whatever. Disney.
But no. But like, But then Barstool like kept going up. Like,
No, he bought it
Right.
back.
oh,
Did you follow that whole fucking
Nah,
thing?
you know what? I don't know what I'm talking about.
It was like
He bought it back for $1, didn't he?
yes, because they had
But Barstool as a media company was
yeah,
is,
but
like,
you
good.
could argue that they were like independent, like they
Right,
were like
okay.
they weren't like a legacy huge network studio thing. They kind of built their own
Yeah.
that then got acquired, and then I forgot how it worked exactly, but Company A bought Barstool, and then Disney wanted to buy Company A, but Disney has a clause where you kind of can't be related to sports betting and stuff. So Company A was like, "Fuck it, we still want to be acquired by
Wait,
Disney," and then they sold Barstool back
Okay.
for $1.
All right.
So Dave Pointer made like I don't want to say the exact. I think it was like 300
Let me look
mil
it
or
up,
I
something.
think he
it's-
made
it's
like
crazy.
100 to 300 million. He's
And
like
crazy.
definitely
he
wealthy
it was
from
like in a month, and he bought it back. But this is fucking old as news. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's like
this is not recent.
there's just
Um,
heaps and heaps of these like studios trying to like
550 million, and then he bought
550.
it back for $1.
yeah, and it's not like one of those like technically $1, but he paid all this. It was actually $1.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I don't know too much about that story. I think he sold Barstool. It wasn't just cash. So I don't know if it was $500. I think it was a mixture of like what they call like cash and scrip or like stock and.
I think he did well.
But he did like I know he's made like more than $100 million. I'm sure off Barstool.
And like that whole like Caleb Presley,
Oh yeah. I see him everywhere.
call her daddy.
Yeah, she's also really big.
There's the fucking funny dude.
These are like the new late night hosts.
yes,
Like
yeah.
celebrities before, like movie stars and stuff. When they're doing their press run, they go on these. Like these are the priorities now. All these like internet shows versus like I think they still go on Jimmy Fallon, but they're like no one fucking cares about
No one
Jimmy
cares.
Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, and stuff like those are the clips that get hundreds of millions of views to promote something. It's like it's all the fucking all those people.
Look at Donald Trump.
Yeah,
going
Yeah,
on,
man.
who he
on,
backed.
Barron-
Kick,
Barron.
going on
Well, that was the
YouTube.
whole. There was the Wall Street Journal. I can't remember what outlet it was, but they did the article on John from Nelk, like John Shahidi guy.
Yeah.
And how he was like Trump's connection to the manosphere, whatever the fuck that is, but like
Yeah.
all the alpha male podcasts and all that shit, and he basically like is an extremely powerful reason why Trump got elected, because it was just like he just plugged
The
him
young
in with
male
everyone.
vote.
He got him on Aiden's stream. He got him with the
Yeah.
Nelk boys. He got him with Dana White. Well, I think they were already friends, but it was like a whole.
And it wasn't.
whole thing.
I think with that, I don't think they were converting the young male vote. I think they just got the young males to
Yes.
vote. That's the main thing. Like that was previously a demographic that didn't go out and show support and vote.
So I remember the Nelk boys, and it's like the most kind of dystopian thing. Like whatever your opinion on them is, whatever. But it was so dystopian, them promoting like, hey guys, go to this like blah.com to like register to vote, like make sure you're voting, guys. And like they weren't like
Yeah.
they were like, this is like, this isn't Democrat or Republican, just make sure you're voting. And it's like the Nelk boys are promoting like politics now.
Yeah.
How does this work?
That is slightly weird.
It's like promote your drink.
I was just thinking about that
and
photo
gambling.
of Kyle and I.
Yeah, we got to pop that one up on the screen.
We're not gonna put that one up. Yeah, no.
It's
I
like
think-
prize picks and then like register to vote. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, this is what like celebrities have done through time, not just
True.
instant celebrities. Like they voice their opinion on something that like they previously like they're not known to be like political commentary.
True.
Like, but they just I don't know. They get older and they feel like
get a bag.
They should they think that's what they're doing is right, and maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't have too strong of an opinion on it. Like they do have a pretty like youthful audience.
Apparently, the Trump administration was just giving out checks to like every YouTuber.
I believe there's probably a lot of scam.
There are like some
scamming
crazy
in the
bags
Trump
out there, like
administration.
50
Yeah.
to 100 grand for like an Instagram post kind of thing.
Yeah. This is probably like one of the most corrupt.
Kind of all
Like,
funded by Elon
administration.
Musk, sort of. It's like the craziest system. Like Elon funded micro influencer politic, like just wow.
Yeah. All right, we won't get too political
Yeah, get off that
on
dog shit.
this show. Speaking, and actually no, this is like completely unrelated. I was trying to like segue
Speaking
into
of
another
not
thing.
talking about
Did you hear
things.
about that? That I'm just like scratching my ass. Did you hear
Nice.
about that? Melbourne startup that recently raised money, the Blinq one.
No.
You don't know about they do digital cards and
No.
they're worth $200 million.
Who
know
the
about this?
fuck are these guys? Yeah.
Link, do you want to do a bit of research on Blinq? To be honest, I think I've heard of them. Now last week,
Like, is
there
it
was another-
NFTs or
No. They're like a legitimate business with
what is
like.
digital cards?
Look, take this. It's actual, just like digital cards, networking cards. You've seen this
I've
before.
seen this crap.
To be honest,
yeah.
like we're of a generation that doesn't use this shit. By the way,
Jesus Christ.
we need to preface all this by saying last week we criticized a startup, but I think we were like fair on it. I'm trying to be as fair as possible. I've seen like, you know, I'm just gonna put people in a box, their users in a box. I think it's like
Sales.
people that work, or like some like consultant, like 30 to 40-year-old consultant that like would walk around with like that want to give their digital business card, or like account managers at SaaS, B2B SaaS.
like
This is for salespeople. Like I got done at that lunch a couple
got
weeks
done?
ago. I got done.
they fucking got him.
Like when someone's doing
backward.
the hard sale and they're like, oh yeah, just take my, and you just want to end the conversation. They always end with like the business card. But now like he gave me the NFC like tap your phone
But do
and
you
it, like,
need
puts
the
his
app
details
to
in.
get his detail? Or it just turns into a contact on your phone?
But
Yeah, well, this
doesn't
one
Apple
looks
already
like
do
it's
that?
QR code.
Well,
so
okay, so my story related to this is
We're so ignorant.
a certain
Every single
friend of
thing we
ours,
talk about, we have no
um,
clue.
a certain friend of ours who works at Shuffle. His ex-girlfriend was going for a job here, I think, or was offered one. And we
Oh,
were
so I know
discussing whether or not like this would, because she was at like quite a good startup, and we were like all just chatting about like whether or not this was like a good idea to move to this one. It's like, you know, that kind of like mentality of like you're effectively investing in a startup by working there if it's early. And this would have been like probably 4 years ago. And we were like, this seems silly. And then Apple released that like whole kind of like you touch your phone to that and it pops up, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, this is stupid. But like, it's just like fascinating. Like, this is still a huge thing.
Well-
and I just obviously like have no idea how.
Okay, so if we cast our feelings aside on the product, like because we both think this is the cringest thing alive. Like, I immediately, if you use this, like, I immediately like don't want to talk to you if you like approach me.
And also, it's like,
wanna-
do I need another layer for just like sending me your email? Like send me an email. It's got your LinkedIn shit at the bottom.
Okay,
Like-
okay, but okay, let's put
Yeah,
our
yeah,
feelings
yeah.
aside. I mean, people obviously, like, the thing is that people obviously use this. They have
They have
like,
users, yeah.
They have users. They have a market. I'm assuming they make a bunch of money. Look, Blinq is used by employees at more than 93% of Fortune. Like, they've got a thing that works. So we can't. At the end of the day, you can't knock on a startup that's found a market and has a product to serve that market. So congratulations
Maybe it's a big
to
US
those
thing.
guys. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know exactly where. all
It
the
looks
people are.
heavy sales based, and
Yeah, I'm sure I've
probably
seen. I've gone
usable,
like
yeah.
I go to conferences and stuff like that. And I've seen people I think use this or maybe a competitor or something.
so how does this work?
But-
So do you like, I have to scan a QR code on your phone and it opens in my browser, or like does it show
I
up?
think if you scan the QR, it would probably open up in save a new contact. That's generally how they operate.
Okay.
So like it tells your phone you're trying to save a new contact, preloads.
let me
first
scan
name,
this
last
QR code.
name.
and see what
I've
happens.
seen
Let me
I've seen
scan this
fucking people with
thing.
the NFC cards. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the NFC card I got the other day.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
The thing was, like, he was the flaw was I tapped his stupid card to end the conversation,
Yeah.
and then he was like, "Oh, send me a message, because he wanted my number,
Yeah.
and that he didn't have that. I ended the conversation.
Wait, was this like in a romantic?
No.
setting
He's,
or-
no. He's like wealth management.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Wealth of all those people that
he's a
do
salesman.
Any broker salesman. Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it
we
wants
should
you to
stop actually
download
knocking
the app,
on
but
the type of people that we should like the startup. I'm pretty sure they have over 2 million users, and they're profitable. And
I'm a huge fan of salespeople. If they're not directly trying to sell to me, I love salespeople because they're like always so fucking good at emailing back, following up. Like they're always so switched on.
Good salesman.
Good salesman. Yeah, you can really tell.
I'm trying to find.
Oh yeah, how do I share my Blinq card with someone who doesn't have the app? Your card will open in their web browser. They can easily save your details and share theirs back to you, making it easy and convenient. Yeah, it's pretty
So
good.
the share your details back. That's a big deal. That's what old mate couldn't get me to do the other day, and that's he can't hassle me now.
All right, should we actually just read out what the CEO posted? Okay, so we get all the information. Shout out Jared Webb. That's the founder
Shout
and
out to
CEO,
Jared Webb.
fellow Melbournian.
Doing
So
things.
doing things. Forbes 30 under 30 though. That could be
That's like Hamish.
that could be a yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. I was about to say, usually Forbes 30 under 30 is like full of scammers, but it's a hit rate. Some of them aren't scammers.
Yeah.
So he might not be one of them. Okay. So he says, I'm excited to announce that Blinq has raised US 25 million Series
Jesus.
A, led by Turing Capital. I've never heard of Turing Capital. Blackbird, SquarePeg, and HubSpot Ventures. Okay,
Classic,
I've heard of all those. They're big funds. HubSpot, they're like a big sales CRM fucking thing. He said, feels kind of unreal to write that. Yeah, it should be. Like raising all that money at a big valuation. That's pretty cool.
Under 30.
He started it in 2017 while he was at Uber. He worked at Uber, and it was a weekend side project. What started as a simple business card tool turned into 3 years of late nights and quiet belief before I fully went full time. After I left Uber in 2021, people dismissed it. It's too simple. A bigger player will clone it. No chance a small Aussie startup would win globally. But I kept seeing something others didn't. The longer people use Blinq, the more they share it. No marketing, just real love for a product. Blah, 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 blah. He got rejected by a bunch of people. A lot of startup VC said no. He just kept building. Sorry, I'm just going through this. Okay. 2.5 million users across 500,000 companies. I didn't even know there's 500,000 companies in the world.
That's fucked up.
That is crazy. 7,500 business customers. So he sells this. Oh, you know what? That makes so much sense. He does enterprise. That makes so much sense of why this would probably make a lot of money. And then he said, a grade team of 70, growing fast. Oh, we've got 70 people. Yeah. Okay. Now he's talking to you, Ed. He's talking to the haters. He said, despite all this progress, I still get asked, isn't this just a digital business card?
Yes.
And then he said, Blinq is solving for the most overlooked but powerful moment in a relationship, the first interaction. You get that right, and you earn the right to shape everything that follows. The early seconds matter more than you think, and they deserve better tools. So yeah, 25 million at $200 million valuation. Honestly, like good.
Fucking good. It's like classic startup story of like, you're like, I'm fucking working at Uber and I hate this. I want to get out of this
story
shit.
And hearing him, I really like him and his story.
Yeah.
We probably don't really like the product. Like we don't care about.
Well,
the product,
I just don't. I would never.
We're
use
just not the
like
users
that.
for the product, and but
it's also a fascinating thing of like.
The enterprise thing makes so much sense. You just
and
go
so
to
it's a very much in-person thing, right? Like, would you send someone your Blinq if you were like a phone salesperson or an email, a LinkedIn person?
What's Linktree?
Yeah,
like I guess that's
it's
a
like
digital
a
version
digital
of
Linktree
Blinq,
business card. Yeah.
Linktree's also in Melbourne.
Yeah, they're like fucking.
And they're worth like $1 billion.
They're like a kilometer away. Yeah.
I don't know how the hell they're worth $1 billion though.
Well, I think they
OnlyFans.
Yeah, that was big.
Wait, why is only what?
OnlyFans girls all use Linktree.
Back when your Instagram could only have one link, that's when they took off, because that one link was Linktree, and then you had your Facebook, your OnlyFans, your fucking...
Wait, so all the OnlyFans... Oh, wait, is that literally why they're worth $1 billion?
I'd say it's a big part of their original
because they're like a
customer
secondary
base.
effect for OnlyFans or something, or like they thrive off a network effect. That
they
OnlyFans
are
drives.
awesome guys, because I know them randomly. But,
I think I asked one of them to be on the podcast, and he just ignored me.
Which one?
Alex, maybe.
Alex Z, right?
Oh yeah, didn't you invite me to like a thing that they were doing? You said to come along or something. You went to a Linktree party.
There was something going on, but the dude Nick, who is the, I would say, co-founder I'm closest with. We haven't spoken for a while, but he's a super nice guy, and he's like a creative like side of things, and he's like the kind of original like creative director, co-founder type thing, and he's like been along for the whole ride. But I think what happened was they just built it and that just exploded and
Right.
it was like, holy shit, like everyone needs this. And then OnlyFans became a thing and and it took Instagram, like Instagram only just recently added that feature.
I have a few other, like, I know people that have started competitors, and then like you all do the same thing. But to be fair, most industries, it's like you all do the same thing. You just have to go and acquire the user.
Yeah.
And then you have subtle differences and stuff like that. Like that's in the industry I work in. That's an industry that kind of you work. Like we all, that is like every industry.
But they're doing like really, really well.
Do they make money?
Yep. They make
People
money. They've got like a kind of like
If you want to do more customization on your Linktree.
customization and like, cause like Grog uses Linktree and cause
Grog has an OnlyFans.
we have an OnlyFans
So-
and but yeah, we have like, you know, like you need to pay to have like extra links or like a background or some bullshit. And like as a brand, you want to have every piece of it fucking
How
nice
much
and
do you guys
designed.
pay?
And
Do you know?
it's like, I don't know, like $100 a year or something, like
Oh, okay.
$10. You know, it's like not much for a business, but they, heaps of businesses use them. They're like really trusted. They're not associated with certain things. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah.
some versions of the clicky thing are like very much associated with like OnlyFans or like bad things on the internet. And like Linktree is much more like just every company uses them. So they've cornered that end of the market, and then
Yeah.
they're the super valuable ones. And they've got like basically endless like. It's like you can pay a fuck ton and get crazy services. And then they've got kind of
Right.
storefronts now where you can like purchase through a Linktree storefront,
Oh, okay. That's
blah,
cool.
blah, blah. So
That's
they're like,
cool.
they're building it all out, and it feels like they're actually just like three guys who built a tool. And the tool exploded and they're just like, oh, it happens to be worth like $300 million. That's
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Now I think it's worth like $2 billion.
Yeah. It's not like
So
silly,
congratulations to them.
silly
Yeah, yeah.
stuff.
No, that's okay. That's very.
And they're all
cool.
like
Yeah.
super down to like, you
Nice
would
guys.
not know.
I bet this Jared guy is really cool. He seems cool. Now reading this LinkedIn post,
we should get him on the fucking podcast.
Yeah, Jared, if you're listening, come by, sit right here, and we can talk about your business. Because you know what, I kind of do feel for him, because I feel like a lot of people. He's obviously ran into a lot of people that have the same reaction as us. Like when we initially heard of it, we're like, "What the fuck?" Like business cards, like what the fuck? Like how's this? Blah blah. And but he's made a product that serves a market that obviously needs this, and people are using it. And VCs are investing because they see they see a lot of value in this. So no, congratulations
Good on him.
to Jared. Honestly, yeah, okay. Like there's honestly like no, they're not. They've got an actual business. You got to respect. I got to respect that a lot. So yeah. So
Piss break done.
CSGO Skins.
Yes.
I'll just say it from my perspective, then you can explain it, because I do not play. I used to play a bit of CSGO, Counter-Strike.
I'm probably fucking less.
Oh, really?
I played
Do we
it a
just
bit.
know about nothing?
I know. I
You know who plays?
about the skin, like the economy of all.
People
of that
buy
shit.
skins for their guns, like Fortnite. If you're familiar with Fortnite, people buy skins to make their guns and knives and stuff like look cooler than the standard one. But unlike Fortnite, CS:GO has like an economy of skins where the trading price of your items can fluctuate based on supply and demand.
And the Steam, I forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
but
like the
there's a
Steam store,
market,
like
yeah.
Steam Marketplace, whatever. And recently, CS:GO Skins as an asset class has probably been one of the best performing asset classes in the past like couple
What's
of months.
the name of the fucking main one?
The Elite Trapper Solomons?
Yes.
That's like a skin for a character that that's like 50. Like all of these skins, if you were to buy a bunch of these CS:GO skins, they've gone up, 30 times, 50 times, or at least 2 times, 3 times for a lot of them, I think. And yeah, I mean, it's not that liquid. I think you could probably only buy up to 100K or 200K, and I don't know how to really sell. You know what? I know nothing about this topic. Do you know?
Well,
more?
it's like it's pretty much the same as like an NFT or something, where the Steam market acts as like the on-ramp and off-ramp. So you would convert real money or like Steam dollars into Elite Trapper Solomon skin,
yeah.
and then you would hold it, and then the price fluctuates. And I believe you can set it as like an auction, so you can be like, I want to sell it for this much, and then people can accept or not accept. So it's kind of like a Pokemon card in a way of like that the price fluctuates crazily just based on how quickly people want to get rid of shit.
Lincoln, could you search up how do you cash out Steam dollars into real dollars?
It's just like,
can you?
it's just money. Yeah.
But Steam doesn't allow off ramp, does it? This is so funny because I am the least like, and maybe you are too. Out of all of our friends are like addicted to CS:GO. Like they all play
Yeah.
CS:GO. They love CS:GO and they know all about it. That's just like the one that I kind of like didn't really get super into.
Well, I just know about it because of obviously the CSGO gambling and how big that was for a while.
Yeah.
And it's the same concept where you can't gamble with real money online technically, so you change your money into knife skins and you can gamble them, and then you can change
you
it
can
back
try
into
and
real money.
win bigger skins and blah blah blah. Like
Yeah.
there's I know a bunch of the people that own CS:GO gambling sites, and like I mean, some of these sites were making hundreds of millions of dollars. And there's a lot of them that's like it's like 3 guys and they profit. I saw like they'll profit like 30-40 million dollars in a year. And they just share it between 3 people. That's 10 million each.
Done.
And it's like, yeah,
You can't cash. You basically have to use a third party service that'll buy
That'll
assets
screw
off you. Yeah.
they take insane fees or something like that.
I assume
Well,
they
but
would,
they have
right?
to buy your account that has the money, like or like I don't
No,
know.
you can transfer assets to people. So it's like think of it
Oh,
as an
yeah,
NFT
okay.
basically.
Yeah,
And so I'm
yeah,
pretty sure
yeah.
the casinos potentially will just buy them off you. You can just sell it to them.
Yeah, it's like selling a used car.
Yeah, no, I
Like
got you,
they'll
yeah.
pay you cents on the dollar for it.
Yeah, like they'll take some cut. But
It's think of them as NFTs.
So now let's talk about the reason why they have just gone up. I don't know, but I read a tweet, and every tweet is real and truthful. But apparently the Chinese players or Chinese investors are artificially driving the price up or something. They're trying to price out Western gamers or like that's what I
like,
read. I don't know
I'll just
if
wear a
that's
normal
true.
skin.
Is that do you know more than me, or do we
That
just
sounds
both
like
don't
I have
know?
no fucking idea whether it's like a Chinese
Can you search
plot.
up why
I've
CS:GO
seen,
skins
I've seen
alright.
like skin collecting farms.
That sounds fucked up, Lincoln.
Like there's they'll have a PC.
Was that in your time in the fucking in the police as someone's skin farm? Yeah.
They'll have like a PC running like 100 virtual machines, and they're all like doing case openings to collect skins.
Yeah, I
So like
believe
that's what would be happening in like India and China. They're just collecting them all, and then they can.
you know
can-
India's at war with Pakistan right now.
Really?
Oh, you don't know
which
about
side are you on?
that? I don't.
I
have a
actually saw
side.
it on fucking Twitter or Reels, but they're like it was something like
the
it's
number
really
one news
funny.
source.
Like they're like just like going at each other. It was like you Indian dog, and then the Pakistani guy would be like,
you
Indian.
motherfuck you.
The
and,
Indian
like,
lion only sleeps at night, and it's like, what does that even mean? Yeah.
So shout out to India and Pakistan. Hopefully the war ends. Yeah, I knew nothing about it. I just want to
You
like.
didn't just say that. Shout out to India and Pakistan.
Well, we
I
don't want anyone to-
always go for the underdog, so I feel like I'm going for Pakistan.
Yeah, Pakistan would be the underdog. What are you getting up there? Oh, there you go. CSGO skin. Oh, we're looking at a skin farm right now.
These are all CSGOs.
It's just like
2
a-
instances.
100
These
computers.
are all
So
different
each
virtual how do you say, environments for PC, each running a CS. I'm just wondering, man, how many of these are there? It's only gonna get more, not less, or unless Valve goes crazy banning.
All right, you have to
Just think
you have to
about it.
remember
When
to add
there's
this
even
shit.
people like this flexing, then imagine how many bigger fish are there just pumping money and not being this like goofy and like, hey, look what I'm doing.
So I don't understand. You have to pay to open a pack.
Yes,
What-
a case. Yeah.
Like, is it a profitable? Like, is the EV of opening a case profitable?
can you
Well,
not
that
just like
depends,
win
'cause-
cases in the game? You must be able to.
Yeah, but how does a fucking robot playing them?
Because they've just wrote a
2025.
script or something.
Is it
and
some
it's
hog shit where like
just,
you log in, daily login, you get a case, like something?
I
something,
think
something.
there's like different tier of cases, right?
Yeah,
Like,
so
you
I'm
get,
just like,
3
if they've got
cases
some
and-
like some script opening cases, like how is that a profitable enterprise?
No, that's a good point. I don't. It's like Steam, CS:GO, according to what I know, they're not running it like a casino.
No.
It's third parties that run the skin sites. But I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the actual cases themselves. There's a certain chance that they will get an incredibly rare item, the thing here is that Valve doesn't set the price of the items inside. It's all dependent on what the marketplace.
So potentially these dudes are opening shit tons of cases, loading up on like random skins, and then driving the price up. So then other people buy the random skins off them, and then that's done.
I don't know if that sounds entirely right.
I don't know.
But look, we don't have a CSGO skin expert in here. Maybe we can invite. No one knows a lot about CSGO skins.
Get him on
He
next
wanted to
week.
buy $50,000 worth of the Elite Trapper Solomons.
Yeah, I woke
I
up
don't
to
know
that
if he was
Discord
joking.
message and I
I
was
don't
like,
know
what
whenever
the
he's
fuck
joking.
is this?
Yeah, I don't know whenever he's joking or not, but he keeps saying that we're gonna
Didn't
get
seem very
rich,
jokey. I think he reached his like Steam was like, you can't buy anymore. And then he was like, can you guys buy some? So and I'll give you the money. That was like the kind of deal.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I need a scout for next topic. Wait, how long have we been recording for?
48 minutes.
Okay, maybe like a one more little topic
more.
thing. Look, this might be a little boring of a topic, but there's a lot of buzz about stablecoins. Do you use stablecoins? Stablecoins is when you have crypto, like a Bitcoin or whatever, and Bitcoin fluctuates a lot in price.
Yes.
And if you want to keep your money in crypto, but you don't want to be exposed to the price fluctuations of
Except
Bitcoin or Ethereum
Tether.
or whatever.
Which one was the bad one? USDT that fucked up?
No, you're talking about Luna.
Luna, yeah.
Luna.
That was a stable coin, right?
They had like a stablecoin thing. Terra Luna thing. Yeah, but if you don't want to be exposed to Bitcoin's price, but you want to keep it in crypto, you swap it into a stablecoin like USDT or USDC. These two different. There's a lot of stablecoins out there.
Yeah.
And then so you will just stay at the USD value.
Which is nice. Like if you're trading, like if
that
you want to
has
get out.
a lot of like that. Stablecoins are probably going to be the biggest business opportunity over the next like 5 years. Like what I think stablecoin. I tweeted this out like I don't know, maybe a few months ago. I think stablecoins and humanoids are going to be like the two biggest like opportunities of like all business over the next 5 years. And they work together because AI, not just humanoids, but AI in general, the way they're going to interact monetarily is they're going to use stablecoins. They can't pass around cash, or they can't send dollars based on like legacy banking infrastructure. They have to use to transfer value around. They're going to use stablecoins. And so Visa is getting into stablecoins. I know Stripe just announced today that you can now use stablecoins in Stripe. I don't know if you guys use Stripe for Grog or anything.
Yeah, we
like
do. Like that's like a fascinating thing about the stablecoins is like the more like utility in the network, the more they're going to be worth. Like in terms of just actually.
Oh, like
it's
who's
like,
the big stablecoin?
Like if I can go to the supermarket and buy
Right.
using a stablecoin,
Yeah.
it's like that'll be amazing. It makes them so much because right now it's like really the use is store of wealth potentially, but it just stays 1-to-1 with the USD. But store of wealth, and then also like if you're trading Bitcoin and you want to cash out whatever else, you don't have to do all the whole bullshit on ramps and stuff. But I don't know. It's just like
it is stablecoin has taken over what Bitcoin's original use case that people thought Bitcoin's original use case was, which was like just transfer of money from country to country. If you bypass the banking infrastructure, you can like pretty much instantly send money at a very low cost, and it's taking over that world. Like, you know, this is, I think, don't quote me on this, I think $20 trillion of maybe just USDT volume was in the last year, and I have no doubt that's going to 100 trillion over the next, like more than 100 trillion over the next like 5 years. The United States is getting into like the administration and the government and a bunch of other governments around the world are getting into stablecoins and supporting stablecoins and passing stablecoin legislation because it just makes a lot of sense. Since you know you'd want stablecoins to be pegged or like backed by your country's dollar, so you keep your country's dollar as like a like as the reserve currency. So if the United States dollar was weakening, like people stopped using it and stuff like that, and let's say Tether or Circle, the two big stablecoin people, if they didn't do USDT, they did EuroT, and all that money went through EuroT, that would people would be less reliant or less backing the dollar. So a lot of governments and stuff, like, they understand the importance of stablecoins. In terms of the entirety of crypto is full of scams. Crypto is full of like, there's not many applications in crypto. Like, at Shuffle we do crypto gambling. That's legitimately just probably that's a top 3 application of crypto.
It's like kind of the
top 3
only
use
thing.
case. It's kind of it's almost like
remittances for like migrants. I think it's quite good as well, because you can just send, like, if you're if you've migrated to the US potentially, because like Western Union and stuff charge like
charge fucked fees for people sending money back to the cousins. Or
whereas like you
uncles,
can like
parents,
kind
blah,
of
blah,
buy Bitcoin with cash potentially if you're like a laborer or something. You can buy Bitcoin with cash, send Bitcoin back to your family. They can then transfer that in, pay way less fees, and it's like done.
Yeah.
But it's like there's not many other and then also as a speculative asset, that's the other use, is just like
for
up
you're
and
talking
down,
about crypto in general
just
now.
trading.
So stablecoins is probably the most important and I think will be the fastest growing segment of crypto and the most useful segment, and will get the most attention. And there's a few stablecoin. There's not going to just be one stablecoin. Right now, the biggest one is USDT. It's an Italian company. This is also just an interesting
USDC
thing. Like,
is just an Italian
USD.
company.
I mean, the founders are Italian. I think they're based in Dubai and stuff like that. That is the most profitable company per employee in the entirety of the world. I think they have 30 to 50 employees, and last year I believe they made 14 billion in profit.
Jesus.
There's just no other company
Is that
in
just
the world
fees?
that they get in profit. No, so they make that money because the main business model of stablecoins is, I put $1,000 into USDT and I'm treating it like a bank or whatever. They then go out and buy treasuries,
The money market.
into money markets, and then they will make the spread between, the money that they invest and how much the money that returns from like T-bills or whatever.
Yeah, so they're a fucking bank.
I believe Tether is
Same company.
the 8th largest holder of United States treasuries, which is just fucking insane. Or like the top 10 or definitely top 15. Would you say it was the same company? Lincoln?
Yeah, so Tether is they reported 1 billion operating profit for Q1 2025.
Quarter one.
Yeah,
it's not a bad quarter.
Quarter one. Yeah.
1 billion.
I think they had a headline that they made 13 bill profit last year.
They're approaching 120 billion in US treasuries.
Which is just fucking insane. Like, for reference, this could be completely wrong. I believe China owns about 600 billion.
So what's tricky,
US
right, is like
treasuries.
the whole crypto, like, anarchist, like, we don't want to be tied to the traditional financial system, blah, blah, blah. It's like they're just buying government treasury bonds, like, and they're tied to the US dollar. So that's the whole, like, they need to make a coin that's just, I don't know.
No. So that's Bitcoin though. Like
I know, but Bitcoin's way too like crazy.
But even Bitcoin itself is now being exposed to the governments at literally the administration has proposals and policies about Bitcoin and about there's potentially one about there being a strategic reserve where they buy Bitcoin, which would be insane. Like right now they have one where they used to confiscate Bitcoin from
Silk
Road and blah blah blah. And historically they would sell that Bitcoin because they're like, we don't think this who cares if this goes up or down? We just want the cold hard cash, and that has costed the United States taxpayers, I believe, like $17 billion because they sold it way too early. Which they keep I'm like 50-50 on that. Like, why would the government care about Bitcoin?
I vote government should just like sell it. Like,
maybe the government should just fucking because that's when you're criticizing the government for selling it, then you're criticizing them for like not making investment decision. So the current policy is that or what got passed through was they're no longer going to sell Bitcoins from the confiscated Bitcoin. That's going to be added to a strategic reserve, and then the next thing is they might buy Bitcoins and whatnot. But
so what's happening with Ross Ulbricht?
He's free.
And like,
He's free.
because
He's
I
the
haven't
founder of
been on
Silk Road.
Twitter, but
What
like,
if you haven't read
Crazy
the story
story.
about Ross, he's free now. He's the guy that got jailed because he
built
started. He built the way that people bought drugs
Yeah.
online using crypto.
and then he got charged for,
Murder for hire.
very crazy story.
A
There's
lot
like
of
lots
stuff,
of like
yeah.
good like YouTube,
I'm sure there's a movie on it or
documentary
something
type
like
thing.
that.
He was originally arrested for trying to pay someone to kill someone else.
And that person
Which
was
is like
Yeah,
fake.
maybe he-
it was
Silk
like a
Road
fake
aside,
cop.
that's a crime that he
Yeah,
should
maybe
probably
he should
still
be
be in jail.
addressed.
Like,
Yeah, he
hun-
seems like a really nice guy. I don't
But
know.
yeah, and then
I
he
know him
also got
personally.
charged with like, I'm pretty sure he got charged with like every transaction on the site. Same with Kim.com,
Yeah.
where it's like every transaction on the site, you are the middleman for a drug deal, and there were like a billion drug deals on the site. So he just
Yeah.
like he got done for all of it, and then Trump pardoned him. But
Well,
I haven't seen
Trump's
he,
a part of his campaigning. One of his campaign promises.
That's how you
was
got the
to
libertarians,
to the crypto people and the libertarians and blah 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 was I'm going to pardon Ross, and he did.
yeah, he did it.
He
So-
did it.
But
Like,
is Ross? Is he like tweeting? Is he like
Yeah, he is. I
out
saw-
and
yeah,
about?
he's
Like
tweeting,
I haven't been seeing it.
no,
yeah.
he's tweeting. And I think he's living his life and stuff like that. He was
That's
jailed
awesome.
for I think about a decade, right?
And he had a life sentence. So he must be a happy guy.
I think he's very happy that Trump got into office and ended up. Yeah, I mean, wow. Like I think Trump most likely hasn't kept to a lot of promises.
It's a
But
rare Trump
this-
W.
That's a rare Trump W that he fucking actually did
Yeah.
that for the Bitcoiners out
But
there.
yeah, I guess he did try and hire someone to be murdered, but that's
Not Trump. You're talking about Ross.
yeah, Ross.
Ross would be.
Maybe
Have you
Trump's
seen
gonna
the
try
like him talking about how rich he would be if they hadn't liquidated his assets?
Yeah. So like billions, right?
Billions.
But
yeah.
there was like a
They
conspiracy.
they confiscated his bitcoins because he would earn a fee off every single transaction on Silk Road. And back then, Bitcoin, let's just say, it was worth.
He was making like
Oh,
5 Bitcoin a transaction.
Yeah, like he was working bitcoins every transaction, so he stacked up enough where he probably would be worth, I don't know, 10.
But there was
20,
a conspiracy
30,
that like
50,
when
100
he
million.
was pardoned, on the day or the day after, like 2 billion in Bitcoin was like was unfrozen from a wallet that that hadn't been opened since he went to prison. So they kind of like, this could be one of Ross's hidden wallets that he's just like sold Bitcoin from. So potentially, I 100%, like he was like a real tech nerd fucker. Surely he had some hidden money. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
who
they
knows? Who
got
knows?
access to his wallet because it
left
was
his laptop
open
open, yeah.
and unlocked when they came in the door.
they got him good.
If he had just dived for that thing,
Fucking thing again.
so
Wait, that was up your ass again?
it's part of the couch. Rowan actually blew up about this the other day.
What
Wait,
the fuck
wait,
is
so
this?
what
How
is
is this
this?
part of the couch?
Yeah, why-
Does it
where-
go like
where-
that?
Yeah, it's part of the couch. It
Wait,
helps
we've been
keep the
recording for
crease
an
down.
hour.
It helps
and
keep the
this is
crease
in his
down.
ass again.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's what? Do you have one?
Do I have? Oh, this is. I also have something up my ass. Oh wow. Okay. Well,
That is got to be one of the worst.
sorry,
fucking-
Rowan. We
Tell
didn't-
Noah to buy a better couch. That's
This
all I'm
is,
saying.
The talent is
so
demanding it.
Ross had 144,000 bitcoins.
That's gotta
and-
hurt.
Can you do the fucking math?
14 billion.
$14 billion he would have been.
At the time of shutdown, that was worth 48 million. So it was still a shitload back then.
Crazy.
Just not as
All right,
many
kids,
shitloads.
steal drugs in crypto and
Build a
that's how you-
drug
that's how you-
marketplace.
That's how you make it.
Yeah, it was iconic. I remember I went on it back in the day. It was like like a crazy concept.
Yeah. I mean,
eBay for drugs.
Based on what I've read, I think he should be out of.
It
prison.
feels like
He shouldn't be responsible.
It's like the senator, I'm Singaporean, kind of like you've got those people, absolute boomers, like deciding on. It's like, no, this guy's not the drug dealer. He made a website. The bad people you're trying to get, the drug dealers, are the suppliers on the site. You should go after them and not the dude that runs it, or you should get him to shut down. Like, I don't think.
This website didn't exist on normal internet though.
Yeah,
It's the same
on
as
the
the AFP and like dedicated encrypted communication devices. They were only sold to
Is
criminals.
Lincoln leaking something right now from
interesting. Yeah.
From
Oh,
his
okay. So they.
days?
There was no reason to be on that site unless you were doing something wrong. So the
Right.
site exists for the wrong reason. Like
like I guess like you just
There's an
what's-
argument in
what's-
both
What's
directions.
the charge for making a website that lets something bad happen?
Well, he's facilitating crime is a crime itself.
No, but
Yeah.
like crime is being facilitated on any type of social media or like, and then
Yeah,
you don't see
but-
Zuck in prison.
But
Like,
But
it's like-
Facebook doesn't exist
yeah.
purely for that reason.
Because you couldn't buy anything
but-
legal on the Silk Road. Like you couldn't just buy like a pair of shoes. Like it was just
and you had to go through
Sorry,
the
did
steps
he market
to
it
get there.
as? Did it like literally was the headline like this is where you buy drugs?
it was just called Silk Road Anonymous Marketplace.
Yeah. So I
which,
mean,
and-
it's-
and-
which
it would-
existed on the dark web.
And it would be like basically there's like categories on the left, and it was drugs,
yeah.
and then like stolen identities, credit cards,
Firearms,
firearms,
How to make drugs. Like you could buy books on how to cook
Yeah,
meth.
yeah,
and-
yeah.
you know,
but like
banned
it
books,
wasn't. That just happened to be.
bombs.
That's like what the product market fit was. He didn't market it as this is like
He built the
He
category.
set up the categories.
Yeah, he
Oh,
did the
sorry.
categories. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't know too much about
Yeah.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
You know what?
He built it
Um,
as like because he had this like utopian idea that like the government wouldn't be involved in drugs and you'd use crypto and it would just be this free flowing marketplace and you'd have a review system and like it would stop people from lacing their drugs with bad stuff and da 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 da
Oh,
because
that's kinda good.
so that was the concept where it's like if everything's transparent and open we will have less drug deaths and there'll be verified dealers and la di la di la.
Yeah.
And like the dealers won't be going to prison for selling weed and like because it's all encrypted and whatever else.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then the problem is like as humans do, they find a way to like do fucked up stuff with it. And then and then he no spoilers, but he eventually got like a sting done on him by the police.
It is
and
so
they got-
hypocritical though from people like, or especially government people, where cash these days is only predominantly used for illegal activities. Like if whether it's buying drugs or
laundering,
prostitution
kind of
or
casino stuff. Like
laundering, like or whatever. Like it's only used for illegal things. Cash these days.
it's just avoiding tax. Yeah.
And I mean, we don't have to go in the whole debate of like people always, crypto people always go like, yeah, that's why, blockchain is actually, you can trace things and blah, blah, blah versus cash. It's, you can't see anything. But we don't have to go through
aren't
that.
governments pro like digitizing money anyway? Like they don't want hard
they-
cash. Like it's a population that are
Yeah,
demanding
they're
it still
pro
exists.
like digitized money through the banks that they regulate.
Yeah. But it's
Um,
in their best interest to abolish cash. It's not like they're saying, no, we can't get rid of it.
And I also understand why a government wouldn't necessarily like two random Italian guys owning $14 billion in their treasury bonds. Like it makes sense.
Yeah, like 100
Or $140 million, whatever it was. But yeah, it's like it makes sense. It's like this isn't.
So I mean, the plan is that they're going to regulate the stablecoin market in the United States to try and like foster more stablecoins to come in the market and compliant ones, and hopefully one of those becomes the winner and to rival like.
Do you reckon maybe
USDT?
banks would make like JP Morgan Chase would make their own?
Yeah, they've all
stablecoin?
been exploring to do that, and they all still want to do stuff like that. It's just I think everybody is in agreement in the States in terms of the administration and just the general public, where nobody wants to see a bank be in control of any of that.
Yeah, it doesn't like
so
it doesn't mesh well with the whole crypto community.
So I think, stablecoins, big business, a lot. There's so many uses. It's insane. There's so many uses for stablecoins. We listed off a few of them, but there's probably like 100 like very useful, practical reasons to use stablecoins. So I think that's just going to grow and grow, and you'll say that there's probably going to be a lot more avenues for the general public to use it. Right now, I don't think it's a general public thing. It's more of a large sums of money being transferred and stored and blah blah blah. And that's like institutions and using that.
Well, I guess it's even like it's like as our like the grog business would never use a stable coin because everything needs to be like properly done on paperwork. Like if it's an overseas transfer and stuff, we'll do like an air wallet.
Yeah,
or
but
something.
if it was regulated, like let's say
Yeah, if it was regulated,
you guys
absolutely.
could take in USDT or USDC, like USDC or something like that.
But like crypto is such a big thing now, and there are so many crypto businesses like Shuffle where stable coins, like you don't actually need the like real world consumers to even use stable coins.
More
Like
than
you've got enough of
50%,
an industry
more than
there.
50% of our deposit volumes isn't stable coins.
Yeah.
People want to gamble. They don't want to be, while they're gambling, they don't want to be exposed to the price fluctuations of crypto.
Because
Some people
it's
do.
just all for utility.
Some people do.
Double
but other
gambling,
people
yeah.
don't. And then, yeah, like I think very pro stable coins. The other obvious use case, and that people in Argentina or certain countries where inflation is rampant on their own currency, and they want to, they work so hard for their money, they don't want to lose the value of it. They will work and then store it in they want to quickly store it into USD, and the best way to do it is crypto. That is the fastest way, cheapest way to do it. And
What's tricky is like, why did they pick the US dollar? Because that's itself,
that's the reserve currency of
but
the
it's
world.
still extremely volatile. Like especially like since Trump put the tariffs in it, I get it's gone up, but it's like it's tricky because like I get it. You don't want to put all your money into like Venezuelan dollars.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like in terms of it's a world's reserve currency, and people have enough faith that the US will keep being the world leader. As soon as that starts slipping, that's when the dollar and that is somewhat happening. Somewhat, there is like, I'm a big believer in that the US is at such a critical juncture where they are on the tail end of their supremacy.
They could lose that
potentially,
spot,
and they
top
can lose
spot.
it. And I think China would be the dominant, China could be one of them. Who knows? There's a lot of counter
Superpowers going.
There's a lot of things happening at once to determine that. But maybe in like 50 years we all have to speak Mandarin, and we all instead of people speaking English, we all speak Mandarin. It's the world could change pretty drastically if the US goes and Trump is the perfect catalyst for something like that to happen. Although like I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump or anything like that. But he is such a radical person. The people that he has around him are fairly radical as well, that they could set up the conditions where things go so wrong and so like
and really
extreme very quickly that they lose a grip on their supremacy in the world, and people start losing faith that, hey, I should stop doing business in the United States, or I should stop doing this in the United States, and then that
the
makes
USD
their dollar
tanks, and then all the stable coins tank.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of second order effects of,
and then even like
that,
gold as a store of wealth, it's like tripled
I think gold
over
is
the
at
last 4
all-time
years.
highs, I think.
Yeah, it's
right
like that
now.
in itself. It's like I don't want to.
This is also the pro case for Bitcoin.
Yes,
People and I think Bitcoin is slightly decoupling from traditional equity markets.
Yeah.
Because usually it was paired a lot with risk on assets.
Yeah.
But people see it as like an anti-war, anti-trade war, anti-this. In the chance that everything gets wiped out, Bitcoin is the asset that goes, skyrockets in value. And so that's, Bitcoin at the time of this recording is around 100K. It's at 98,000 USD. So people, I think, I still think there's some correlation to risk on assets. So if stupid shit starts skyrocketing again, and the bubble forms, NFTs and all that shit happen again, I'm sure Bitcoin will be a beneficiary.
Yeah.
But I think it's in a pretty good spot, all things considered.
crypto.
But crypto. Okay, I think that
Done.
we spoke about a lot of things. How long have we been recording now?
Hour and 10 minutes.
That seems like quite a lot. Thanks guys for watching.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next week. Bye bye.